A very good morning to all my dear students of class 6. This is the second class on the chapter A Different Kind of School from your Honeysuckle English book by NCERT. This is the fifth chapter. In the previous class, I have given an introduction to the chapter and I discussed the summary and the theme of the chapter to you. Today, as I have told you last day, I will teach you the text line by line. Half of the text I will teach you, and I hope all of you are having the text with you. Okay, just follow the text. A different kind of school. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. So here the story is written in first person narrative. The narrator writes in first person narrative. Now students, what a first person narrative? The narrator depicts as the story saying it I. So I means in first person. The narrator himself depicts the story, what he had experienced. Okay, this is called first person narrative. So the narrator was thinking of visiting the school for a long time, which he got the chance of visiting the school he got in last week only. So he is depicting the experience of visiting Miss Beam's school last week only. When I arrived, there was no one inside but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with a bandage and she was being laid carefully between the flower beds by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. She stopped and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. As I told you about the story while telling you the summary, that the students, each and every student of the particular school has to lead the life of disabled students for a single day in a term. So the girl whom the narrator had seen in the garden was for that particular day was experiencing the life of a blind girl. So a little boy was helping the 12 years old girl, and the girl whose eyes are bandaged realized that somebody has come. So she asked the boy that who has reached, and the boy gave a description of the narrator to the girl. Next para. Miss Beam was all that I expected, middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. So Miss Beam is the teacher. So Miss Beam was as same as the narrator had expected him to be. He is a middle-aged teacher, full of authority and very yet kindly and understanding. Authoritative but kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. So now I'm continuously telling the wrong thing. It's Miss Beam, not Mrs. Beam. So Miss Beam was a middle-aged lady whose hair has started turning grey. So she is a middle-aged lady and she is having a plump body. Plump means she is healthy. She is not thin. She is healthy and she is healthily fatty. That the word plump means healthily fatty. Okay, so now the narrator wants to know what are the simple methods in which in the school run by Miss Beam the students are taught. Okay, no more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spellings, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. As I told you last day, writing, that includes taking dictation, spellings, writings, etc. and subtracting, multiplying and adding and dividing, that means the calculations. That are very easy things. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. As I told you in the last class, the lessons are important to the students in an interactive method. In an interactive method where the students are students are told different stories in a storytelling method, in an interactive method. When the lessons are read to the stories, the students understood something, and whenever they are having any confusion, they asked. So it is taught in an interactive method, in a storytelling method, in a simple way. And some questions are asked to them after reading the chapter, the subtopic, and by this manner Miss Beam gets to know whether they have understood that chapter or not. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple adding, subtracting, multiplying, writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. So there are practically no other lessons. Next paragraph. I just read the third paragraph twice to you. The real aim of this school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness. Underline this, students. So the students are meant to be taught thoughtfulness, not thought. They are taught to become thoughtful, to ponder, to think over. That is the thing which is taught to them. Students, I will just tell you one thing. If all the things are taught to you, we just in an authoritative manner, we will just teach you the chapter, give you question and answers and all, then you will never learn to ask questions to teachers. It's better that the teachers will explain the chapter to you, you will understand them, and then you will ask questions to the teachers whether you have understood the chapter or not. You have to be thoughtful. You are coming to school, a chapter is taught to you by the teachers. You are preparing the question, reading the chapter 5 times. That's not enough. You need to think. You have to be thoughtful. Okay? Thinking is the key to success. You have to be thoughtful. It's not always obtaining marks, which is important in our lives. It is very much important to understand things, to think about things. Okay? So it's very important for each and every student to think. The real aim of the school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness. This line can come for reference to the context. Okay, underline this. Thoughtfulness, kindness to others, and being responsible citizen. Look out of the window a minute. Will you? Now, Miss Beam asked the narrator to look out of the window. So, what are the things that will be taught to the students? To be thoughtful, to have kindness, and being responsible citizen. These three things, these three qualities I explained to you last day also. To become thoughtful, to be responsible citizen, and to be kind. Kind means empathetic towards others. So the narrator looked out. I went to the window which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being laid about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see two more with same difficulty, and there is a little girl with crutch watching the others at the play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple. Now Miss Beam has told the narrator to see from the window, and after seeing from the window, the narrator depicts that it's a wonderful ground where the children are happy, but not everybody is healthy there. Okay, there are many children who are not healthy. Then he said to the teacher, Miss Beam, that she saw one girl who cannot see. There are many like her, and there is one girl who is standing beside, who is very much eager to play, but she cannot play because she is crippled. So these things are tormenting the narrator. He is thinking that many students are disabled here. Let's see what Miss Beam answers. Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, she said. She is not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very surprised. For I must have looked very surprised. For she laughed again. So, when the narrator told these things to Miss Beam, the Miss Beam started laughing. And Miss Beam said, it's not that the child is blind or the other children are lame. They are spending their lame day and their blind day. They are also normal. But it's a part of their curriculum that they have to spend these days of disability in every term. This is very important part of our system to make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. Student, underline this line. To make the children appreciate and understand misfortune. This is very important, students. All of you, those who are born perfect without any disability, we hardly realize that how unfortunate it is for those people who are disabled, who cannot walk or having other form of disability. How unfortunate it is for them to lead their lives. Okay. So they are very much unfortunate to have a life of disabled. So these children are made to realize the lives of disabled children, are made to realize the misfortune they are having. And in a way, we will, the students, the other students and everybody, if we lead the life of disabled, then only we will realize that how fortunate we are to have a perfect body, to have a complete, to have a life with no disability. How much fortunate we are. If we can lead the lives of misfortune, then only we will realize that how much fortunate we are. Okay. It is very common, sometimes your parents also tell you, if you are asking for a thing and every time the parents are providing you the thing that you are asking for, every day you are asking for new pen, new pencil, new bag, sky bag, American Twister and a lot of things that you are asking from your parents. And every day once you tell it to your parents, the next day your parents are providing you that. One day you are telling your parents that I want pizza, next day the pizza base is ready, the parents are providing you that thing. You are telling that I want pasta, I want this and that food, I just want to dine out, I just want to have my dinner out, whatever be that. If you are telling and readily the parents are providing you the same thing, generally the children of your generation get that, then you will never realize that how unfortunate those people are who are not getting it. Okay. So we always be thankful to God for giving us a perfect body, a life without disability, to our parents who is providing us all necessary things, and to God for everything that we are having in our lives. We should always be thankful and thoughtful about the things that are happening around us. So, the students are made to realize the misfortune of the disabled students. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes were bandaged absolutely and they were on their honor not to peep. The bandage is put on overnight, so they wake blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. So Miss Beam explains that in each term, each and every child has to live this lives of disability, every form of disability, deaf, dumb, injured, blindness, everything for a single day, lame, everything. And the student who is having the life of a blind girl, for a blind student for a day. Overnight the eyes are bandaged, like so that she wakes blind. So that while she is waking up, she cannot think, she cannot see anything. And the children who are also helping her or him will realize that how unfortunate it is to lead a life of a blind, to lead a disabled life. Now, students, I have explained the chapter till this. I also don't have the text. I have also downloaded it and teaching you. So I hope you have followed the text. In tomorrow's class, I will explain the rest of the story to you. So bye for today. Have a good day. Okay. So bye.